And a Fox News alert, the U.S. military reportedly starting to draw down our troops from Iraq and shift them to Afghanistan. The report says the move is coming since ISIS has essentially been forced out of Iraq. That's the good news, but what does this all mean? Jack Keane, retired four-star general, Fox News senior strategic analyst, joins us now. General, good to see you. You know, we had as many as 100,000 troops at one point on the ground in Afghanistan until President Obama pulled them out. What do you think about this new smaller deployment? Can it achieve success?
Well, I totally agree with the major strategic decision the Trump team has made is to commit ourselves to Afghanistan indefinitely. And that was something certainly that President Obama never did, never put in the right resources and pulled those resources out quite prematurely. I think there are some elements here to make progress. The additional troops, to be sure, the relaxed rules of engagement, bringing over helicopters and strike aircraft to be more effective against the Taliban, and also permitting our advisors to be right down at the fighting level will clearly make a difference. All that said, all of that by itself will not be decisive in not having a favorable outcome unless we do one other thing. And the one other thing is we have to shut down the Afghan Taliban sanctuaries that are in Pakistan, that the Pakistan government and the Pakistan military are protecting.
Well,
we don't do that.
How do we do that? They're not going to go for that. I mean, the administration has threatened potentially cutting off aid to Pakistan. How do we get tough with them? What do we do?
Well, we're cutting off aid, but that's not going to do it because the Pakistanis can easily make up that aid from China. I would try sanctioning the chief of staff of the Pakistani military, the director of their intelligence service, call them out, try to get them to be denied international travel. They are supporting those safe havens and providing aid to them, which has impacted on the loss of American lives and Afghan lives. If that doesn't work, then we've got to take those sanctuaries down ourselves using U.S. military and CIA assets.
So you're saying the sanctuary, that we need to attack the sanctuaries in Pakistan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they've got nuclear weapons.
So? What are they going to do with nuclear weapons? They're going to use the nuclear weapons against us? Well, that doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about, Eric?
Well, I mean, it's a nuclear state, and you're dealing with the fact we potentially can attack Pakistan. You know, what if there is a military blowback and it explodes from there?
The Pakistanis know what they're doing. They have our U.S. blood on their hands. They have the blood of the Afghans on their hands. They are fully complicit here. They know what has been happening. What I'm suggesting is we target those sanctuaries and we take them down once and for all. That has got to be done. We're in a war here, and there are American lives at stake here. We've got to be decisive about this and stop playing around. We've been putting this on for 16 years, and that thing will never end unless we do what I'm suggesting. Now, if they want to take them down themselves, and the coercion I'm suggesting may work, but if it doesn't work, then we've got to have the stomach to deal with this thing once and for all.
And what if they don't take them down? And what if the administration doesn't take your advice? You know, as you point out, you're right. The cost of blood and treasure of our country, 16 years, and the Taliban, sadly, has not been tamped down completely.
Well, that's what then the war is going to go on protracted, and at some point, years down the road, we'll pull away and we'll create another major sanctuary for radical Islam inside of Afghanistan that so hurt our country, 16 years ago.
Do you think, finally, General, that, this can be won? You have to deal with the philosophy of radical Islamic terrorism. You have to deal with the extremism in the Muslim community versus the secular world. I mean, there's a whole philosophy and thought process here that the West must defeat.
Well, certainly undermining the ideology of radical Islam is something that's a generational issue. But killing Taliban, 85% of the people in Afghanistan do not agree with the Taliban. This is about killing and capturing them and separating them from the people. It has always been a kinetic issue, not a hearts and minds issue here at all. And it's going to take some determination to see it through. The Trump administration has made the right decision. We're staying. The second thing they got to do is take these safe havens down. Certainly the Pakistanis voluntarily take them down. If not, then we do it.
Yeah, and perhaps if some of the previous decisions had not been made rashly, we wouldn't be in this situation, of course.
No, I agree with that conclusion.
General Jack Keane, always good to see you. Thank you, as always, for your insight.